I was delayed coming up here. I am in Shaver, California. Going to meet some teammates here. They're going to be here in about a little over an hour. I'm here just to warm up and to get more acclimatization to the elevation. It's about 5,000, 5,100 feet here. About the same as Albuquerque, New Mexico, where the Nationals are going to be for old guys, Masters Nationals. It's about 103 down in the valley, and it is starting to sprinkle up here right now. So as long as it doesn't turn super cold, if I got up here earlier, and I may do this tomorrow, I'm going to come back up here and go do a what's called the Tamarack grade, and that'll take me up to about 7,000 feet. But I think we're going to stick around for the particular course that we're going to be doing around this elevation or so. Far back.
Hey cycling community, this is Steve Grusis, the Cycling Greek. Today's course is 35 miles with 3,500 feet of climbing, all within the elevation range of 5,500 to 6,500 feet. That means there's lots of ups and downs. With my living at 300 feet, when I got on the bike for my warm-up, I could tell there was quite a bit of a difference. After a bit I felt okay, but then again my warm-up wasn't anything big. Once these guys got here and we got on the road, and these guys don't lollygag, I can tell I needed more oxygen. After a few minutes, I started feeling a little easier, like I was adapting to the pace in combination with the altitude. There was a noticeable headwind going out to the turnaround point, and during that entire first half, I felt like I had a 1 heartbeat difference between breathing appropriately and hyperventilating. However, as time wore on, I seemed to adapt to that situation too a bit. On the screen, this is one of the early climbs, and I've been trying to keep pace with Terry. I had just reached my limit and I had to back off. With this being the last ride with these guys due to my work schedule changing, as with my other rides with these guys, I'm putting everything into this. I just don't ride with them to spin around. So now I'm chasing. Once I got going, for the next 6 minutes, I never really got any closer to him than you see right now. I mentioned earlier that there are a lot of ups and downs on this course. They range from short hills to 2+ mile hills. After we got to the top, we did a quick regroup so we can reconnect with Janine, who, by the way, I thought I was going to get dropped by early in the ride. This is on the final climb to the turnaround point, and again, we're trying to kill each other. The reason I came out to do this ride, other than that it was way too hot to do a hard ride down in the valley, is that I want to start getting ready for the altitude that I'm going to be experiencing should I go to Nationals. Of course, if I wanted to adapt to elevation, then what I have to do is live at elevation for at least a week, and then according to my genetics, my body would start producing more erythropoietin, which would then stimulate the production of red blood cells. Since logistically or time-wise I don't have the ability to stay at elevation for a week or two, I'll have to do what my teammate Dr. Chris does. Dr. Chris competes in Paris-Brest Paris events and is going to be competing in a high elevation event in about a month or so. He goes to elevation about once a week and does a ride. How can that adapt you? I don't know, because all the literature I read says you got to stay at elevation for a week or two, or get a tent, a hypoxic tent or hypoxic mask, and use that. Dr. Chris says in his current training schedule, the first time he went to elevation to do this, he was suffering, but then after that, he felt stronger, and so he just kept it up. So since I don't have any other means or any other options that I can use, I'm going to do what Dr. Chris does. As we're heading to the turnaround point, Terry's doing what he can to drop me. Janine's doing a great job back there, because I'm doing around 300 watts at times just to be able to stay on Terry's wheel. What you're seeing now, where Terry gaps me a bit, happened a number of times during this ride. And then I just get my legs under me, so to speak. I use whatever tricks I can, high cadence, low cadence, whatever it calls for, and I get back on his wheel. Janine, who was doing yeoman's work, finally reached her limit and she had to dial back. She is doing what she can to limit her losses. Once we get to the turnaround, I feel a little better. We had gone at that point 17.5 miles and had climbed 2,100 feet. So we had another 17.5 miles to go back and only about 1,400 feet of climbing. And we had a little bit of a tailwind. As you noticed, I have not gone to the front in quite a while. My main goal for the moment is to reach the turnaround point connected to Terry. On the way back, Terry and I were hitting these climbs pretty hard. Each of us wanted to be the one that got to the top first. As it usually turned out, Terry would get there first. This particular climb was a 10-minute climb. Close to 3 minutes in, Janine started falling off the pace. 5 minutes in, I reached my limit and I had to back off. Had to get my legs back under me, and then I started chasing again. I kept him within a certain distance once I got going, but I never did catch him. After a quick regroup at the top to get Janine back with us, we descended a little, and then we encountered another hill, and we did it all over again. Today's ride shows me that it's been years since I've ridden this strong. This gives me a bit of confidence going into this race on Saturday. This is going to be my test race on Saturday. The only thing I'm really worried about in that race is going to be the gravel section and any mechanical that I may or may not encounter. I'm certainly not saying that I'm going to win on Saturday, especially knowing the talent that's going to be there. I am saying that I'm going to be doing better than I would have done any time in the last few years. As I'm doing the voiceover for this video, it is now Wednesday night. I've cleaned my bike and I started to just begin the process of packing. And I put on my new wheels, my 28s. And I put them on the bike, and now they just didn't fit. They were hitting the fork, and for whatever reason, so I took them off. I glued on my 25s, and so that's where I am with that. I'm going to be racing with my 25s, and that's quite a difference in terms of width on those tires compared to the 28s. I didn't realize they were so different. But such is life. So I was able to catch that now instead of tomorrow night, because I'm going to be leaving right after work on Friday. So I plan on having everything packed tomorrow night. Since the race course is about 4 hours away, I'm going to be staying overnight in Williams, California. I'm near the top, and I let up because I think I'm pretty tired, and Terry just keeps going. So I'm hoping he slows down. He's not slowing down. He's going to go for it all the way back to the cars. So that means I'm going to have to do that now. Get my legs under me, because I think, yeah, I'm pretty tired. So at a certain point, when I finally do, I start to go after him. I finally catch him as we head into this climb. And at the bottom of the climb, when I do catch him, I attack him. But he's too strong and he stays with me. Another positive we encountered on the way back is that the rain had stopped. It wasn't raining hard, but it had a steady sprinkle for the first half of the ride. On yet another hill, I'm now trying to power away from him. I'm hoping that he's getting tired or that he has a lapse in attention, but no way. I'm now standing and pounding it. My intent is to do this all the way to the crest, which is right before me. Terry, who's also been standing and pounding it, has a lot more gas in the tank than I do, and he counters what I've been doing and puts in an excellent move and then just goes. I haven't redlined, but I'm back in the saddle trying to do as much power as I can, and right now that's well below 300 watts. For the next 10 minutes, the chase is on, over descents, flats, and climbs. I put everything into it, but I never did catch him. This was a great workout, and as I was saying before, it's been a long time since I've ridden this well. Because of my work schedule, this is the last time you get to ride with these guys this year, at this particular day. It's a great workout. I appreciate the compliments I got too. When we got back to the cars, we recounted lusty bike adventures. Then it was ready to pack and go home. Okay, so that's the question of the day. Can I go to altitude once a week, do a workout, and will that adapt me to the altitude? Will it adapt me a little bit to the altitude? Just once a week. So I'll be going to 5,000 or 7,000 feet, so right around there. And again, Albuquerque is going to be at 5,100 feet. So please comment below. Let me know. Is it just a placebo effect? Do I think I'm going to be doing okay just by doing this? Or am I really going to get some adaptation in my body? More red blood cells. All right. You know the drill. Comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.